So hey guys, I'm doing an update on those seedlings that I transplanted and I have planted out in the garden. Now the weather's been up and down here, so the watering's been very irregular because some days it's rained and then it's like not raining, gotten really hot. So to like today in the greenhouse it just hit 38 degrees at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've only just opened it up now, so I'm going to have to do a bit of watering in here. But I just thought I'd show you those tomatoes that I transplanted in here and see how they're getting on. So these are the ones that are transplanted. You can see the one at the back there, he's not doing very well at all. But the majority of them are doing okay. So it's always a matter of the survival of the fittest. When it comes to transplanting anything out. So you just have to transplant them out and just see which ones were strong enough to deal with the transplant. These were the pumpkins that I transplanted as well. Some of them, so you can see the bottom leaves have died off on those as well. That is quite natural when you transplant some things. My chili pepper is growing nicely. This is the super hot one, I think, over here. No, sorry, the other one, little one over the back is the super hot one. But yeah, so you can see some of the transplants. Some are doing all right, and some are struggling a little bit. Doesn't help that it's super hot in this greenhouse. I'm going to start sweating in a minute, so I need to get out. So these are the zucchini I planted in here a few days ago as well. They are struggling a little bit as well, but I think they'll come back. They're still alive, so I believe that they will just come back up. I have got, so I'm getting quite a few of these little things popping up around the garden. And these ones here next to my coffee, you can see that they're getting quite big. These, I know exactly what they are. They are not a weed, they are sunflowers. So I am so looking forward to these guys growing. I'm not going to move them, I'm just going to let them do their thing right where they are. And these are the beans, green beans, purple beans and yellow beans that I've put in here. These guys are coming along really nicely. All the ones along the trellis on this side and on that side are climbing ones. The rest of them are bush beans. I didn't have good success with these last year. They didn't grow really well, so I've put them in a different area this year. And there's some more volunteer, what do you call them things? Oh, see these ones? I've just noticed they are being eaten by snails. I'm going to have to put some snail pellets out. Or I'm going to they've started on one end. So they've started on this end, and you can see all those these are little tiny little stumps left of what's left of the beans. And it is working its way across. Same thing on the other end. They're doing the same thing and working their way across. So these are the ones down in Snoopy garden here. They seem to be doing all right, considering some of them you can see there have died off. And again, it is always the matter of survival of the fittest. So these are the zucchinis in here. And every second one is a cucumber. These are some more beans. These guys are doing really well in here. And you can see these ones are not doing really well in here as well. I think I'm going to have to water these and see how they do. So we got zucchini, cucumber, zucchini, cucumber all the way along here. Again, when you get down this end, they are not doing really well at all. So up here in Carrot Top, these are the capsicums and the chili plant. I've planted these guys out. They were the ones in the greenhouse. A lot of you will have seen those. You can see these are even struggling out here. They've dropped a lot of their leaves as well. And yeah, so my personal opinion, guys, this year's weather is going to be not very good. It was only probably 5 or 6 days ago I did the video on bolting, which should have come out by now. And these things, this is the spinach, which is humongous now. It is completely and utterly bolted. Even the lettuce here that I was still going to eat off has really shot up. And this stuff's going to be really quite bitter now. So I'm pretty much going to be just pulling everything out of here. And this is you can see how the tops of these have split open from the bolting video. I'll link that in so you guys can check that out as well. And so yeah, the weather has really warmed up really quite quickly here. All my spinach has bolted as well. Sorry, all my silver beet has bolted. I always call it spinach for some reason. So everything up here in this garden bed is just about ready to it is past beyond ready to come out, because the weather has warmed up really quickly here in Western Australia. So I do have a few things that are doing okay in here, and that is the onion. I will do a video, guys, when these onions are ready to be harvested, on when to harvest them. They are not ready to be harvested yet. There has been something in my garden. I'm assuming that is the cat. But yeah, these all up here, even though we had rain a couple of days ago, and we had, like today, the weather's been overcast and quite cool, but today the sun is out and shining like you wouldn't believe. So all of the leek here as well really requires some water. So this morning before I go to work, this is what I'm doing, is watering out my garden and my veggies, and making sure that these guys have got a nice drink for the rest of the day, because it's warming up here quite nicely. I know that I'm going to get a few comments about the fact that I said that I'm going to water my veggies and my gardens in here before I go to work, and then I already mentioned that it was 10 o'clock in the morning. Now I know that some people are going to go, you shouldn't water your plants at this time, you shouldn't water your plants at that time, but you know what, if my plants need a drink, I'm going to give them a drink. That's the same with myself and my kids and my animals. If they need a drink, I'm going to give them a drink. So at the moment I don't have any of my retic systems set up with the automatic retic on, because of the weather changing so rapidly, that I am just basically turning taps on and off as I need to water them at the moment. So I am in here in Carrot Top, and I have got my retic system on, and this is the first time I've had it on in here, and I'm seeing a few issues with it, so I know that I need to get in here and get this sorted as well, which is another reason why you guys should be putting your retic system on before you need it, so that you can get that sorted out. So you'll be able to see there's a few spots that are not getting any water. This section in here is not getting a lot of water. The connection itself has a rather large issue. This one here is spurting over here somewhere. I think that is just due to the cable tie that was here is broken. Yep. So I just need to reattach this back onto the side, and that should have that fixed. It is kind of watering what I want it to water, so I will get a cable tie shortly. I'm not worried about this not getting watered, because this is all coming out anyway, and I can't check all of this until this is being pulled out. An onion section. It's not too bad in there. The section here is probably not getting as much water as it could get. I generally have my retic run early mornings before the sun comes up during summer itself, but due to the fact that, like I said, it's not set up yet, these cats are if you can see this thing right about there at the bottom of the screen. They have no respect for your gardens at all. So I just water when my garden needs water, when it says it's thirsty, when the ground is really dry. But I think I'm going to have to go and get this sorted out so that I can get more water where I want it. Ta-da! All fixed. Problem, for some reason this joiner is leaking, but the joiner that I've put in there is not. So, who knows? Maybe this one's just slightly smaller than the connection that's in there, but it's not leaking now. I fixed it, yay! So this is Baked Spud garden bed down here, and you see I've got the retic on in here. I've got a couple of adjustments to do in the retic system down here. Majority of it's working really well, but right in the middle here there is a little sprinkler that I want to get going, because once the beans start climbing up the two sides here, the sprinklers on the each side here won't water what's in the middle here. Now, the reason I put those in the middle there is because I think that the bush beans didn't like the full sun that I had them in last year when I had them down the back end here. So I'm trying them underneath the archwork there, and I've just noted my archwork as well. She's a little lopsided, so I'm going to have to take a look at that before the beans start climbing up. And the only other thing in this particular garden bed that I need to do in the way of a retic is I need to put one more on the corner here, because this section here doesn't get as much water as what the rest of it does. But other than that, this bed is good to go, and I've already got some zucchinis in here, some sunflowers that are popping up in here, and the beans that are down in the far end there. So I'm quite happy with this one at the moment. The boys helped me put the rocks around the edge of it. There is still a few gappy gap bits as I find more rocks around the place. As I have a few down the back here that I was using to hold the tarp down, they will come up here and become a part of the edge of the garden bed. Now, the reason I'm putting in the garden bed edging is when I whippersnip the garden around it, I generally take out the upright, so any of these upright sprinklers, they get taken out by the whippersnipper. Good spot? Yeah?